guys, what's up? We have some information for the brand new characters for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, including their skills, their initial decks, and of course the unique level rewards that come with them. I will probably be making these into individual videos, one for each character. So we will start with Jaden Yuki. To unlock GX, you need to unlock Jaden himself. To do so, you need to summon 10 warrior-type monsters in total, and have reached Stage 8 of Duel Monsters World. This will be easy, short of you maybe having this Duel Links from yesterday. You would have completed this ages ago. Don't worry, for the trouble of doing so, you get 10 gems and 1 Winged Karibo. Winged Karibo is a light fairy level 1 with 300 attack and 200 defense, and its effect is, if this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, for the rest of this turn you take no battle damage. This can be useful if your opponent has a large field presence, as this will enable you to survive this turn. First, we will start with Jaden's skills. The first is Where the Heroes Dwell. This can be used after your life points are 2000 or lower. Play the field spell Skyscraper. If there already is a field spell on your side of the field, return it to your hand. This skill can only be used once per duel. This is quite a lot of damage to take before you can access the field spell, and can be problematic as your life points may be too low to properly use it, as Skyscraper only provides you with an attack advantage during your battle phase and does not keep that bonus, making most of your elemental heroes too weak to sustain an attack, and may be enough damage to deplete your life points to 0. A classic example of this is Elemental Hero Bubbleman. When it attacks, it would become 1800 attack, which is okay, but when it's not attacking, it's only got 800 attack, making it an easy target. The next skill is achieved at level 4. It's Fusion Time, and this effect is it can be used each time your life points decrease by 1500. In the draw phase, instead of doing a normal draw, draw a Polymerization spell card from outside of your deck, and which is added to your hand. This effect is okay, but with the introduction of Elemental Hero Blazeman, that can automatically search out for a Polymerization, means this ability won't likely see much use. The next skill is Reinforcement. This is achieved at level 13, and its effect is can be used each time your life points decrease by 1800. Return 1 card from your hand to your deck and draw a random warrior type monster. This effect is decent, as you can replace a weak card with something potentially stronger, and if run in an elemental hero deck, can draw most cards within the archetype. The last skill is Miracle Fusion, and this is a dropped skill, making it the most difficult to obtain. Its effect is can be used if your life points drop below 500. In the draw phase, instead of doing a normal draw, a Miracle Fusion spell card from outside of your deck is added to your hand. This skill can only be used once per duel. This is a very risky skill to have, as it does not give you much space to maneuver. Either you get your life points down to this level, or the likelihood is your opponent defeats you with such a low number of life points. Also, it does not work effectively if you try and force your life points down, and Duel Links does not give you a main phase 2, so you would be risking ending your turn to hope your opponent does not have a comeback. The ability to use Miracle Fusion is good, as if you have a decent graveyard, you have options for the fusions you can go into, but is understandable why the skill can only be used once per duel, otherwise this effect would be too broken. Now, the best example I can use, which is similar to this effect, is one of the Paradox Brothers effects, which is to you summon Sanger of the Thunder, Kazajin, and Suijin to the field. You have Gate Guardian in your hand, and neither of the 3 monsters you have can attack nor activate their effects, but you can summon the Gate Guardian, obviously. Now, I had this happen actually in a duel when I was player versus player, and my opponent attacked my face-down defense position monster. But what he didn't take into account for was I had a face-down trap card called Mishizuri. As soon as he destroyed my monster, I flipped it over, destroyed his Gate Guardian, and he quit the duel. The reason being because he had no other cards. That gave me all the card advantage and meant that he could not come back from that position. As for his starter deck, he has one Elemental Hero Neos. This is a light warrior level 7 with 2500 attack and 2000 defense, and it is a normal monster. He has 3 Elemental Hero Burstinitrix. This is a fire warrior level 3 with 1200 attack and 800 defense, and is also a normal monster. He has 3 Elemental Hero Avian. This is a wind warrior level 3 with 1000 attack and 1000 defense, and is also a normal monster. He has 3 Oscillo Hero. This is an Earth Warrior level 3 with 1250 attack and 700 defense, and is also a normal monster. He has 3 Beaver Warrior. This is an Earth Beast Warrior level 4 with 1200 attack and 1500 defense, and is also a normal monster. He has 1 Card Ejector. This is an Earth Spellcaster level 3 with 400 attack and 400 defense, and its effect is, once per turn, you can target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard, banish that target. This can be useful if your opponent has set up their graveyard in order to revive that monster. He also has 1 Winged Karibo. I've already shown the effect for that, so I won't show it again. He has 3 Kushido Spirit. This is a continuous spell card that says monsters on your side of the field cannot be destroyed in a battle if the monster's attacks are equal. This is very situational at best and should not be run. The last card he has is 2 Fusion Gate. This is a field spell card that says, while this card is on the field, the turn player can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from their extra deck by banishing a fusion materials listed on it from their hand or field. This card enables fusions of monsters without polymerization, and fusing into more than one is possible. This is good if you can guarantee game, or at the very least do a lot of damage. The next deck he uses is based off when you face him at level 40. These are obviously 1 Elemental Hero Neos. He has 1 Elemental Hero Stratos. This is a Wind Warrior level 4 with 1800 attack and 300 defense, and its effect is, when this card is normal or special summoned, you can activate one of these effects. You can destroy spell or trap cards on the field up to the number of hero monsters you control except this card. Or the second is add 1 hero monster from your deck to your hand. This card can either destroy a back row up to 2 cards, or enable a search for a particular hero, which could then make it easier to fusion summon for one of your fusion elemental heroes. He has 2 Elemental Hero Sparkman. This is a light warrior level 4 with 1600 attack and 1400 defense, and it's a normal monster. He has 1 Elemental Hero Necroshade. This is a dark warrior level 5 with 1600 attack and 1800 defense, and its effect is, once while this card is in the graveyard, 1 level 5 or higher elemental hero monster you normal summon can be summoned without tributing. This is good for summoning Elemental Hero Neos, as it is the only one in the game outside of this that requires a tribute summon. This means it can respond to stronger monsters. Hopefully sometime in the future they might consider bringing in Blade Edge, because that has a couple of fusions which were quite classic ones as well. There's 1 Elemental Hero Wildheart. This is an Earth Warrior level 4 with 1500 attack and 1600 defense, and its effect is, this card is unaffected by trap effects. This can be good when facing a back row heavy deck, and if equipped with the right cards, can become a decent beat stick monster. It has 1 Elemental Hero Blazeman. This is a Fire Warrior level 4 with 1200 attack and 1800 defense, and its effect is, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Polymerization from your deck to your hand. During your main phase, you can activate this effect. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except fusion monsters. Also send one elemental hero monster from your deck to the graveyard except elemental hero Blazeman, and if you do, this card's attribute, attack and defense each become the same as the monster sent to the graveyard until the end of this turn. You can only use one elemental hero Blazeman effect once per turn, and only once that turn. This card brings your fusion card, can alter its stats to become a beta, and can substitute itself for a fusion material for a fusion monster. He has 2 elemental hero Clayman. This is an Earth Warrior level 4 with 800 attack and 2000 defense, and is a normal. He has 1 elemental hero Bubbleman. This is a Water Warrior level 4 with 800 attack and 1200 defense, and its effect is, if this is the only card in your hand, you can special summon it from your hand. When this card is summoned, you can draw 2 cards. You must control no other cards, and have no cards in your hand to activate and to resolve this effect. This card's effects are situational, but at the right time it can be very useful. Being able to draw 2 cards enables you to reach your resources much easier. He has 1 Righteous Justice. This is a normal spell card that says destroy spell and trap cards equal to the number of elemental hero cards you control. This can get rid of your opponent's back row, and played correctly can get rid of any back row they have, and of course helps you push for game. He has 1 Emergency Call. This is a normal spell card that says add 1 elemental hero monster from your deck to your hand. This enables a search, which can bring your fusion materials together into your hand. He has 1 Heated Heart. This is a normal spell card that says target 1 face-up monster you control. Until the end of this turn, it gains 500 attack, and if it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. This can provide a monster with an additional boost, and is especially effective when facing defensive-based. There is 1 Oversoul. This is a normal spell card that says target 1 elemental hero normal monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. This card can bring back most heroes. Of note include Neos, who has 2500 attack, and Sparkman, who is a 1600 attack monster, and of course a fusion material in its own right. He has 1 Skyscraper. This is a field spell that says when an elemental hero monster attacks, if its attack is lower than the attack of the attack target, the attacking monster gains 1000 attack during damage calculation only. This is used to make your heroes defeat other monsters during a turn. If used well, can get rid of some of your opponent's stronger monsters as well. He has 1 Dark Factory of Mass Production. This is a normal spell card that says target 2 normal monsters in your graveyard, add those targets to your hand. This can bring some of your fusion materials back to the hand to bring out a fusion monster. There's 2 Polymerization. This is a normal spell card that says fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. This fuses your monsters together. He has 1 Fusion Sage. This is a normal spell card that says add 1 Polymerization card from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. This basically searches out your fusion cards, but the ability of shuffling your deck as an after effect is actually quite decent. If you've been drawing badly, perhaps a shuffle to your deck might put things into perspective and put things right. He has 1 Negate Attack. This is a counter trap card that says when an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack, then end the battle phase. This helps to protect your monsters for a turn and can keep you in a position to draw into your necessary cards. He has 2 Elemental Hero Thunder Giant. This is a light warrior fusion level 6 with 2400 attack and 1500 defense, and it requires an Elemental Hero Sparkman and an Elemental Hero Clayman, and its effect is must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card to target 1 face-up monster on the field with original attack less than the attack of this card. Destroy that target. This can remove a decent attack monster and enables for 2 monster destruction, considering if you factor in its attack. He has one elemental hero, Darkbright. This is a Dark Warrior Fusion level 6 with 2000 attack and 1000 defense, and requires elemental hero Sparkman and elemental hero Necroshade. And its effect is must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. If this card attacks, change it to defense position at the end of the damage step. If this card is destroyed, target one monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. Piercing damage is a decent effect, but it turns to defense mode, and this is where its other effect becomes useful, as it tempts your opponent to destroy this card and enable it to destroy a monster in return. He has one elemental hero, Necroid Shaman. This is a Dark Warrior Fusion level 6 with 1900 attack and 1800 defense, and requires an elemental hero, Wildheart and Necroshade. And its effect is must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When this card is special summoned, target one monster your opponent controls, destroy that target, then special summon one monster from your opponent's graveyard to their side of the field. This enables you to trade in an opponent's strong monster for their weakest, to cause the most damage to them, and to reduce any threats against you. He has one elemental hero, Mudballman. This is an Earth Warrior level 6 with 1900 attack and 3000 defense, and requires an elemental hero, Bubbleman and Clayman. And its effect is must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. This is a great defensive option, provided you cannot do anything else. The next set of cards are unique level up rewards. At level 3 is elemental hero Wildheart. At level 7 we have Featherwind. This is a counter trap card that says when a spell or trap card is activated while you control a face-up elemental hero Avian, negate the activation and destroy it. This is very situational, and the chance of you drawing into both this card and Avian are rare. At level 10, you get elemental hero Flame Wingman. This is a Wind Warrior Fusion level 6 with 2100 attack and 1200 defense, and it requires an elemental hero Avian and Burstinatrix. Its effect is must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the destroyed monster in the graveyard. This, when facing an attack position monster, guarantees 2100 damage, and even when facing a defensive monster, any attack it has will be inflicted as damage. At level 11 we have elemental hero Bubbleman. At level 14 we have elemental hero Marina. This is a Water Warrior Fusion level 5 with 1400 attack and 1000 defense, and it requires an elemental hero Bubbleman and an elemental hero Avian. And its effect is must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. While you have any face down cards in your spell and trap card zones, this card can attack your opponent directly. This card can be used to finish your opponent, or at the very least get your opponent close to it. At level 16 is elemental hero Steam Healer. This is a Water Warrior Fusion level 5 and requires elemental hero Burstinatrix and elemental hero Bubbleman. And its effect is must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, gain life points equal to the attack of that destroyed monster in the graveyard. This enables you to gain life points, especially beneficial when you are on low life. At level 21 we have elemental hero Flame Wingman. At level 23 we have elemental hero Clayman. At level 25 we have Oversoul. Level 33 we have Miracle Flipper. This is a light spellcaster level 2 with 300 attack and 500 defense. And its effect is if you control a Miracle Flipper, you cannot summon this card. Your opponent cannot select another face-up monster as an attack target. If this card is destroyed by battle, special summon it to your opponent's side of the field at the end of the battle phase. If this card is destroyed by the effect of a spell or trap card, destroy one monster your opponent controls. This can trade over to your opponent's field, and when your opponent is on low life and is playing defensively, this could end up being their downfall. At level 35 we have Skyscraper, at level 38 is O Oversoul, and at level 40 we have our Righteous Justice. The unique drops are Elemental Hero Neos as an ultra rare. Elemental Hero Tempest is a secret rare. This is a Winged Warrior Fusion level 8 with 2800 attack and 2800 defense, and it requires an Elemental Hero Avian, Bubbleman and Sparkman, and its effect is must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. You can send one other card you control to the graveyard to target one monster you control. While this card is face up on the field, that monster cannot be destroyed by battle. This can help to protect some of your weaker monsters, enabling you to maintain field presence. It can also protect itself with this effect, making it immune from battle destruction. We have Elemental Hero Thunder Giant as a secret rare, Winged Karibo as a secret rare. The Flute of Summoning Karibo is also a secret rare. This is a quick play spell card that says add one Karibo or one Winged Karibo from your deck to your hand, or special summon one Karibo or one Winged Karibo from your deck. This can help to protect your life points for a turn. We have Elemental Heroes Sparkman, Bubbleman and Wildheart as rares. Card Ejector is also a rare. We have Spark Blaster. This is an equipped spell card that says equip only to Elemental Hero Sparkman. During your main phase, you can target one face-up monster, change the best position of that target. After you use this effect 3 times, destroy this card. This can work against specific monsters that either have a stronger attack or defense. The only issue is they have to be face up, so defensive monsters can be more difficult to use in combination with this effect. So I think I'm going to leave it there with the end of Jaden's cards. What do you think of the cards he currently has? Is there anything missing that you would have liked? Like I said, I think one of the key cards missing is Elemental Hero Blade Edge. The reason I say this is there are a couple of fusions that have gone with Blade Edge. In particular, you have Wild Edge, which was the fusion between Wildheart and Blade Edge. And you also had a fusion between Sparkman and Blade Edge as well. I'm sure there's a couple of other heroes that are around that have been forgotten about, maybe even a couple of newer ones like Elemental Hero Ocean, you have Elemental Hero Wood, Elemental Hero Nospi. But then again, you never know, they may introduce those later on to the game. So leave your comments down below, like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and as always, thank you for taking the time to watch this video.
Some things will never change. Well, only long as something free is my life. And